One of the ways we can adapt the side bridge and kind of clam together is would be like called a diagonal sit side bridge. Quick overview on it is we want to just think of like an arch forming kind of from this knee over to this hand. So we want to think like anchoring through our tricep, kind of through our serratus, lat, lower trap, through the oblique, through the glute, down onto the knee. So we kind of have our traditional side plank. We can do like kind of like the hingy one up and down like this. Then we have our like clamshell over top, kind of tricky for the glute. So if we squish a couple of those together, this is kind of what we get. So the main prompts for this is we want to think about this knee as an anchor point, this elbow is an anchor point. We're trying to get everything to activate in between. So we start by kind of rolling the pelvis over to kind of put a stretch and a load into this lower hip. So when we come across like this, we want to think I'm almost like pressing this leg down to the ground with good stability and kind of a good anchoring point through this elbow. So when I come across and I kind of push up, this lower leg is doing the work, driving out and lowering myself down. There's a tendency to whip this leg forward, especially if you have some chronic hip flexor tension or something like that. This is where you're going to try and get your momentum. So I want most of the drive to happen from that lower leg coming up here, so almost I can get to like a stepping forward motion and then lowering back into it. This back leg is just kind of going for the ride. We're getting most of the drive through here. We should feel the shoulder blade locking down. We should feel that connecting through the oblique and into the glute on here. That initial rollover top on the hip to drive out really helps load the glute. So this helps us with a lot of those like hinging motions that if it's a little too complex with the foot on the ground, we can work on that if we need a little extra core stability too. So once again, the diagonal side bridge. Key thing is as we roll it over, load the hip, almost like connect this knee into the ground to this elbow, kind of press across a little. The other leg just goes for the ride, and then control back down into it on the lowering.